ladies. I'm already like, trying to not cry. Hey, ladies. Oh, yeah. I kind of started doing that. It stays better. I can do it tighter for when I work out, so I'm still sweaty and stinky. But I put a sweatshirt on to cover the sweat spots, and so I wouldn't freeze in here. Hey, Tara. I did not forget. I did forget. But I was thinking maybe since I'm doing pink incense, I might could get a video done for you this week since I'm already kind of in the realm of this. So maybe send me specific directions on how long it needs to be, because I kind of forgot. I know it's not very long, but so that it can get into an email and make it to you, Tara. If we're still on for that, anyway. Is the music too loud, ladies? Or yeah, I'm seriously trying to hold back tears already. I am so like loving Jesus right now. I just have been thinking of how he's just totally other than, right? And there's no one like him. And it just wrecks me. Sometimes I have to keep myself. Do y'all ever feel like that? Like, not that it's right, but you keep yourself from kind of thinking about it, or you'll just be like wrecked the whole day. I have to do that often. I'm like, I gotta get things done. I can't like think about this right now. Jesus, how awesome you are. So, but I've been feeling this pull, and I love those seasons where you feel the hunger grow, where you feel the pull, and you're just excited to get up in the morning before everybody else and just have that time where it's like, I can't wait to just sit. Like, even if he doesn't say anything, but it's just, I just feel the hunger, and I know that hunger only begets hunger, and it's only because of him. And I really am grateful for those seasons, and I'm kind of like in that right now where I'm being pulled in, and I love it. And so the music's okay, not too late, not too loud, If I could sing, I would go for it, because I love this song. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, Natalie, I'm gonna call you after this, because you'll never believe what happened to me in the night after our conversation. So, but it was interesting. And so anyway, I gotta call and tell you about that. All right, so ladies, I'm gonna pray and we're gonna get started. Jesus, I can't even say your name. I am so grateful for you and who you really are, and that we have the honor and the privilege to know you and to be your friend and to just be pulled in, that you desire us, that you desire to take us in to the Holy of Holies, that you desire to take us in to friendship, that you desire to take us in and make us your own and to give us everything that you have. And so I am grateful for you, and I am grateful that you are who you say you are, and that there is no one like you, that you really do sit above the circle of the earth, but you choose to sit beside me also. Oh, Lord, y'all, Jesus. Oh. You're the best, Jesus. So, help me today speak of you rightly, to have revelation of who you are go deep and wide and all over, and that it would draw people unto you to know you for who you really are. So I'm asking that you take the coal today, that you take the coal to each one of our lips that desire to know you. Take the coal to our lips so that we speak of you rightly in the earth, that we understand all of who you are, all of your beauty, all of the truth about every one of your faces, Jesus, so that when we speak, our voices declare your truth, the truth of who you are. So take the coal, touch our lips, make us mouthpieces to speak of you rightly, Jesus. Amen. If I fall off the seat here today, y'all. Anyway, I was just thinking, I don't even know if I've ever done this on Pink Incense. Maybe I have. I don't really know. But I just really felt led to just share like my testimony from the beginning, like don't worry, not from the way beginning, but just how I don't know. That's just what I'm just like keep thinking back, and I keep thinking, how did this happen? You know, like how did you show up to me as wonderful you, Jesus, you know? And so I just thought that's what I'll do today, because it's why I love him so much. And so, good night. I can't quit crying. I really want to like cry hard. Okay. So, when my mom and my stepdad got divorced. I'll just start there. My mom and my real dad got divorced when I was 6 years old. And so then we moved back to Louisiana. I was born in Florida. We moved back to Louisiana. And I lived in where I do now, in Springfield. But my mom remarried. We moved to Clinton, Louisiana. I went to school in Mississippi. We were right on the border, and my uncle was the principal at Centerville Academy. And so went there, and so we lived in Centerville, or in Clinton, until I was going into my 9th grade year. I made high school cheerleader, all that kind of stuff, but then my mom and my stepdad got divorced, and so we moved back here to Springfield. And I don't know why I'm crying. Woo! But when I moved back here, you know, my Uncle Bray, he was a pastor, and so obviously I started going to church there. It's Oak Tree now, but it was called Harvest World Outreach. And so my Uncle Bray would cry, y'all, I'm not going to be able to talk. Help, Jesus. All my life, like when we were little, like me and Winnie, my Uncle Bray, my Aunt Diane, they would take us on, he had a worship band, I don't know what you call it, Jesus Power and Light. Anyway, so we were always like in like Winnie does with all the kids now. Takes them everywhere, does everything. So we were always with them. Well, when I moved back, just like normal, my Uncle Bray would pick me up for 5 o'clock prayer. We was going to discipleship, and then we like knew youth pastors, like, because he had started a church, and so now youth pastors, Devin and Kathy, Pedo, and some of you might know them. They're the pastors of the Mission Church here in Hammond, and so anyway, in my 9th grade year, I started really going to church and kind of understanding and being discipled, with truth, and so, so I was immediately like, I want to give my life, all of my life, to Jesus. Like, I started getting words, I'd give words in youth, and I would see visions, and it was, I was filled with the Holy Spirit. And so in youth, in high school, I did have encounter with the Lord, and I was pretty intense. No, if you know me, that's not a shock. But like, because if I do something, it's intense. And so it was really intense. And I wanted to be a missionary. I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to go to YWAM, die on the mission field, give my life to Jesus. And because the people that surrounded me were just radical lovers of Jesus, and they were such great examples. My Uncle Bray, my Devin and Kathy, Dick Flores, just these radical, like, sold out people. And I was like, this is what I'm doing with my life. This is it. I am a martyr. I am going to die for Jesus, and I still believe that. But I am going to die for Jesus. And so my plan was go to YWAM, hit the mission field, never come back. Leave your bloodstained body on the mission field. I mean, I'm serious. That's how, now I'm like trying to send my kids, every one of y'all, get out there. And so anyway, I'm just giving you like my heart behind all of that. Like, it really was give it all. Lay it all down, give it all. That's what I want. And so what happened was I got an academic scholarship to college, which I was not thrilled about, but my parents were, because it just shifted my plans. It shifted my plans because I had to go to college. It was like, no, you're going to college and you have a scholarship. We're not wasting it. And so anyway, I went to college. First year, I was here. It was great. I was at Southeastern. I was still involved. I was doing everything. Well, second year, something like that, I moved to Florida. I won't go into all of this because there are people involved. And so I stayed in Florida for a reason that I thought was good. Bloodstained body, I know, right? But it is what it is. That's exactly what I mean. And so I really thought that was the right choice, and however that has worked out in eternity, whatever. But I stayed in Florida, and went to college. I stayed because I would go to summers to visit my dad, and so I ended up staying there. And it wasn't until almost like a year later that I just, because I didn't get connected anywhere and it wasn't intentional, I just, started doing everything that I said I would never do. And I started going to Florida State, and I was in a sorority, and just think about how intense I'm talking about the one end. That's exactly how intense I was on the other side too, because everything I do is going to be 100%. If it's right, it's 100%. If it's wrong, it's going to be way 100% wrong, And so, so I just lived like that for a good, I couldn't do it for very long, but it felt long. It was a good year and a half, 2 years, and I was getting to where I didn't remember anything. Like when I'd go out, I didn't remember anything, and there was a couple of circumstances where it was just bad, I knew, and I felt the Lord drawing me back, and I had so much shame that I just couldn't, I wanted to, but I knew I am not saying yes unless I know that I will never do any of this again. That was my mentality, that I'm not going to be a person that goes in and out. If I'm going to be a daughter, I'm in the house and I'm staying. And if I'm going to be a Jesus follower, then I'm going to be a Jesus follower. But I kept having these accusations because I went on this spring break, and I knew I shouldn't go, but I had given my word to a friend, and I didn't want to leave her hanging with the money because we were going to Cancun, Mexico, and I was always scared I was going to show up on those videos, Girls Gone Wild, y'all. I know, it's terrible, but it's true. I don't know if I ever would have, but it was a thought, maybe I might. And so I went, and there was an incident that happened there that, because I went with it set in my mind that I'm just going, I'm helping her with the money. I'm not going to do anything ridiculous and crazy. But I remember I went with her, and we were at Carlos and Charlie's, and I remember this guy talking to me, and this is my thought, this may be way too much information for Pink Incense, but, hey, this is the story. So I remember this guy talking to me, and I remember thinking, his hair's cute. His hair's cute. And that's the last thing I remember, and I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing anything. And so so all I can assume is that I did have a drink, but it wasn't like a drink. The only thing I can think is that he had to have put something in my drink, because I woke up the next morning, and this had never happened to me. Like, I did crazy stuff, but I was not, I didn't wake up with peoples. And I was on the beach. Like, I woke up on the beach, and I just remember the horror of like, oh my God. But the thought of like, you know what? You deserve that. You shouldn't have been here anyway. That's what you get. That's what you get. You knew better. You shouldn't have done any of that anyway. And this is what you get. And so anyway, I left there. I went into this, I didn't know it then, but that's what it was then, but I, went to this depression. I was at Florida State. It was it ended up being my last semester there, because that was just but I would just get hit with the thoughts of, it's done now. Like, it's over now. Like, that was the worst thing you could have ever let happen to you, and God will never use you now. Like, you are trashy. You know, like, this is ridiculous. And then, you know, and then all of the other things that you could think about, like, I don't even know what happened. Like, what if, like, oh my gosh, like, what if, all kinds of stuff, you know? And, but I remember I started driving back every weekend. That semester, I didn't schedule any classes on Friday. And I would leave on Thursday, and I would make it to Chi Alpha on Thursday night. I would go home for the weekend. I'd drive 7 hours from Florida State home on the weekend. And I remember one weekend I was at church and I wanted to go to the front so bad, but those lies, I remember I was holding the chairs. They had fold out chairs then, cement floor, fold out chairs. And I was holding the back of those fold out chairs. And I remember my Uncle Bray was giving an altar call. I remember thinking, I want to so bad. I want to, Jesus, so bad. But then I would hear the lies and the accusations of, you know what you did? God will never use you. That was like, that was, you know, all the lies. And then it was like all of a sudden, it was like a light bulb went off. And I was like, wait a minute. You're a freaking liar. Like, I mean, it was like that. It was like, you're a liar. I know who you are. You are lying to me. It was like that after all this torment. And I'm sitting there and I want to go so bad. It was like a light bulb went off. Like, you are a liar. You can't even tell the truth. You are a liar. You're lying to me. And I don't even remember walking up there, but that was it. I was in the front. I remember, I think it was my Aunt Diane was praying for me. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like, this is over. It's over. This is over. And I remember feeling, this is over. And I remember feeling like, y'all probably not going to know this song, but I remember It's a Mile in the Fat and Broken Heart. It was like Kathy Petto always played in the car with us when we would go to Dolphin Island and the beach. It was like, I'm gonna go to heaven. I'm gonna walk down the streets of gold. I was just like wanting to run around the church with that song in my head. I'm gonna go to heaven. I'm gonna walk on the streets of gold. I was like, it was over. Like, it was done. Like, it was an immediate never. And I have never looked back, because this is what happened when it was like the light bulb came on, the lie of the accuser was exposed, and I was like, he still wants me. Oh my God. Jesus still wants me after all of that crap. He still wants me, right? Oh my gosh. And I was just like, it made me fiercely loyal to him, that I didn't care if anyone else ever was with me, if I had a friend or not. It was, and I still am the same way. I don't care. I'm going to do what he asked me to do. I'm going to live 100%. And if it's sell everything, it's sell everything. If it's don't touch that, I'm not touching that. If people don't understand why I do certain things that he's asked me to do, I don't care. Because you know why? He still wanted me. And he still wants me, right? He still wants all of us. Like, and that's it. If he asks us to do something, we say yes. Because why? He loves us. He still wants us. And it's like, take everything else, but just give me Jesus. If you give me Jesus, I'm good. I take it all. Give me Jesus. I don't want any other lovers. They are liars. Every other lover is a liar. And in the end, you're wanting, right? And with Jesus, you're not wanting anything. You're never wanting anything. He is the best. He fills everything. And so, oh yeah, thank you. And so I just was thinking about that today, because when the hunger, when that hunger starts to stir and you get pulled in, you begin to remember it, everything. You remember, oh my God, you're just so good. There is nothing that compares to you. And when you see him do that for other people over and over, when the eyes of awakening happen, when you begin to see him rightly, like, you really are this good. You really are who you say you are, Jesus. You really are. One of my favorite, I've got a lot of favorite, but there's a psalm that's my favorite, and it's in Psalm 18 and verse 35, and it says, your gentleness made me great. And it wasn't because he was like, you knew better, you should do this. It was not like that. It was like, come on, I still want you. You can do better. I have a story written for you, and it's not over. It's not over. He's lying. Your story is not over. And so, man, Jesus is awesome, right? He's the author of all authors, and he never ends with ashes, right? He never ends with ashes. It's always beauty. It's always beauty. It's always beauty if we lean into him. And so I just have been thinking of his goodness, and then if we as women, this is where it is when we see him rightly, when we come to him and he shows up to us like that. I didn't know that it was the bridegroom then, but he showed up as the bridegroom, and no one had taught me about the bridegroom. No one. And so this bridegroom came in, and he still wanted me. And it began to stir my affections like they had never been stirred before. And my love, I wanted to die. I think I've said this on here before. I wanted to die on the mission field. I was like Peter. I was like, I know everything. Not like I know everything, but I'm going to die, and I'm never denying you, Jesus. And then all of a sudden you're denying Jesus, and you're full of shame, and you're like, I thought I loved you. You did. You were just immature. And now when you come back, you understand in a greater measure, right? And your love becomes mature. And man, if we as women, if we as people of the earth, of God, the people of God, could speak of him rightly, that we would really understand, we would really be loyal to him, we would really understand, and it would be like that coal touched to our lips, and we would be able to be like the daughters of Jerusalem, like to be like when the daughters of Jerusalem asked, we'd be like the Shulamite. This is what he's really like, I promise. I shut him out, but now I'm looking for him, and this is why, because he's all of these things. He really is. He really is. And so if there's a void in the earth, I think, of voices that draw people in to true intimacy. I see it all the time. I see people who, and it's not that they're not okay, but it's when you know this Jesus, and then you meet people who are like, they think because they go to church that they know. It's where are the voices that draw into deep intimacy, right? Where are the ones that can speak of him rightly, that bring others into the maturity, the deepness, not like a maturity like you have to, you do your quiet time and there's all these things, not like that, but like that understanding of like, he really is better. He really is so much better, and he really is true, and that not even the disappointments of life can shake you or pull you away from him, And I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I dream of. I dream of women who just are fascinated with his beauty and his intimacy, and that are just long to know the secrets of his heart. And it's not it's not, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like going, let me read this and now, okay, and let me write something it's not like that. It's like all day long just talking and being his friend or just being honest with him all day long, right? Just all day long, just like, man, I need something, Jesus. Like, this is not, you're just being the friend, right? And so I was just feeling that today. I was just feeling like, man, so many people don't know that, right? So many people don't know that you're not disqualified. You're not ever disqualified if you just say, here I am, here I am, here I am, take me back, here I am. And you're never disqualified. And the story keeps going on, you know? It keeps going on, and it actually gets better and better. And so anyway, his gentleness made me great. His goodness made me great. His truth made me great, right? It made my insides great. It woke me up. And now no one can take me from him, ever. And so I'm looking for a group of women. My dream is to see women fiercely loyal to him through every season, knowing that he's true. So I don't know. That's all I got today. I was like, whoa, there I went. I did it. Maybe I've done it before. I don't know. But I was just being grateful for Jesus, you know, still wanting me over and over. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow. So I love y'all. And look, register for Pink Incense Memphis. We have t-shirts also, and the Wild Love t-shirt, the money for that is going to go towards making Winnie's CD, and then the other one, the monies go to help fund the gathering too. So you can, you know, donate to that too if Jesus moves on you, so we can get that stuff done. And so I'm looking forward to it. I love y'all. I appreciate you ladies. Invite people in and share and, you know, fulfill your calling. You know, maybe it's on the mission field. Anyway, I'm kind of feeling like, woo. All right, I'm going to pray, and let's pray. So